why you should move to Hawaii. Hey guys, my name is Derek Okahashi. Thank you for watching another video. We get people reaching out to us in all phases of the journey. You know, like, it's my dream, and in 5 years when I retire, we're going to be there. We'll be watching your videos until then. To, hey, just got here. I want to buy that house, and everything in between. But why should you move here? So maybe you are, you know, American or otherwise, and you're interested in expanding your kids' horizons, but you don't quite want to move to Uzbekistan, or you don't quite want to move to Korea or Chile or some exotic place. Hawaii's kind of that, right? You know, I've lived in Florida, multiple parts of Florida, Virginia, California, been up and down the West Coast, Vegas. If money weren't an issue, geography, parents, all that, if none of that were an issue and you were just like, I want to give my child a certain experience, I can't see raising my kid anywhere else. I just can't. And granted, I'm biased, right? Local background, my dad born and raised here, and my mom wasn't, and I just felt accepted right away. So I do have a unique bias. Let's call that out. I can't imagine that Arkansas from Oklahoma is too different, you know, in terms of upbringing and in terms of lifestyle. No shade, no insult, but it's just not that different. You have the option to have your kids raised with aloha, with the salt in their air and the sand in their toes. Maybe you want to get away from people. And maybe you move to Hawaii because we are the most isolated place, right? And are we the most isolated in the world? I've heard that. I've seen that in like pamphlets. No, it's so close to South America. What about like Rapa Nui? Anyways, if not the most, we're one of the most isolated places in the world. I'm not gonna call you out in case you see the video, but I spoke to a couple clients. And I was like, but you know, you miss like Sunday dinners and whatever. And they're like, no, in fact, we wanted to get away from those people. I also won't go into detail out of respect, but I've had relationships strengthened because there was more distance. And Hawaii can be the perfect place for that as well, right? Wealth building. For me, there's no better place to build wealth. Now, I'm in real estate. I sell homes. I help people achieve their goals. And when I do it at a high level and at a high rate, I can be compensated well, but also business opportunities. I just had lunch with a guy yesterday. He's from North Carolina. Shout out D if you see this. Since moving out here, his net worth is in the multiple seven figures. And he says, because he does business in Texas, North Carolina, California, that culture carries over into business. It's just a little easier to get things done as long as you're not dealing with the government here. But it can be easier to get things done with people. In real estate, Hawaii real estate is an appreciating asset. Typically, over time, I would rather hold an asset in Hawaii for 10 years or 15 years, and we'll do a whole nother video on this math, but I'd rather hold an asset in Hawaii than hold one in, you know, Montgomery, Alabama. It's proven itself to be such over time, and I think that'll continue to be the case because this weather, this culture, these rainbows, they're not going out of style. So I cannot see how the land and the real estate would go out of style. Therefore, I think it's a great place to build wealth over time. Be healthier. Maybe you've had a cancer scare or something along those lines. We do have a client that had that. I lost my mother to cancer. Very sedentary lifestyle. Not an ideal climate that she lived in. And it's not like we would get out and go for walks. It's just too disgustingly hot or cold most of the time. I do feel like Hawaii is a place where you can lead the healthiest possible lifestyle. With the exception that you have to get a little more creative with the food. I mean, in California, access to like great vegetables and produce and stuff all the time, a little easier. That just takes a little more effort and intentionality here. But aside from that, what better place to get healthier, to live healthy than here. And with that being said, your kids can play outside year round. One of the reasons, and I didn't really thought about this, if you notice, Hawaii is always in the finals in the Little League World Series for baseball. For one, we're a little crazy sometimes when it comes to our kids' sports, but beyond that is they could practice all year round. I never really thought of that. If you're in Indiana and it's winter, I think that's where The Christmas Story was filmed. I'm pretty sure it was in Indiana, yeah. I love The Christmas Story. You're not practicing baseball in January, you know. There's no ghost man on second in January. It's just too cold. Now, are there other activities? Sure, but I would be willing to bet that you'd probably get your kid out more here. Maybe another reason for you moving here is that you have family in Asia, or in Australia, you become very popular when you move to Hawaii. If you have family on the mainland in the US, you have family somewhere in the other part of the Pacific, Hawaii is the perfect hub for that, right? You know, maybe you have people who are stationed in Korea in the military, and then mom and dad are back home, and you're a brother and sister, and you're gonna move here to bridge the gap. I was born in Florida. I was the wrong color for everyone, right? Culturally, it was lacking. It wasn't Hawaii, right? And so when I came to Hawaii and people were wearing slippers and everyone was like, nah, you go. You're driving down the road. Hey, I was like, thank you. Like, even as a 9-year-old or 10-year-old, however old I was, when I first came to Hawaii, I was like, oh, wow, this is a different place. You know, Alaska is its own thing, very unique culture. Texas, you know, and California is its own thing, but Hawaii is very, very much its own thing. The Kingdom of Hawaii had royalty, the ethnicities that are derived from the plantation days. So Hawaiian, Japanese, Chinese, Portuguese, Filipino, Puerto Rican, Korean, Samoan, Tongan, Melanesian, Micronesian. People come here from all over the place. I was infatuated with it because that's where my dad grew up. It's where I surfed, the culture, etc. But for you, why should you come? For one, the aloha spirit. It's Christmas time, it's the holidays. You're getting together with family and hey, that's us year round. When we're barbecuing on a Saturday for the kid's first birthday in March and in July, that thing on the mainland where you kind of lighten up and be less stressed, like that's how we are all year round. It's not 100% fair to compare it to like this Hallmark Vermont Christmas. Maybe you want to come here because you want to surf and be a part of the ocean, you know, daily. That was one of the big things for me. When I lived in California, I liked a lot of things. I even missed a lot of things. But if I had an hour to kill, I couldn't shoot to the beach and swim because you had to get on a wetsuit, take the wetsuit off. It was just too cold. And for me, being able to be in the ocean when I need it is there. When I need to take my kids and teach them to surf. If anything, I take them surfing more than I do myself, right? You only live once, you know? If you're afraid or if you don't know if you'll like it, I say make the decision faster. You'll find out the answer faster. The only way you're not gonna like it is if you are just super entrenched and prefer the really strong Western culture that say maybe is the Northeast. You don't want this more kind of quasi-Asian island vibe culture. Yeah, then maybe you don't take the plunge, but if you long for this, if you want this, come. Like, I can't imagine a life where I didn't live here, where I didn't, you know, raise my kids to calling people auntie and uncle and letting people go in traffic, throwing shakas. And, you know, respect is not exclusive to Hawaii, especially on the island of Oahu. The way that we are a big, densely populated place with a small town vibe, that's hard to find. Maybe you're watching this in February and you don't want to plow the snow today. Or maybe it's just brutally hot and you're in Orlando. But you want to switch up lifestyles and you want to be able to go for a jog, a swim, a bike ride. You want that kind of weather that really stays between 70 and 90 all year for the most part. I know I'm gonna get some flack from certain people regarding encouraging people to come to Hawaii. I get it, it's a soft spot for me as well. I'll give you an example. If someone can't afford to live in Oakland, California, where I used to live, and then they're forced to move to SAC because their wage, you know, disparity isn't working, I don't quite feel as bad than when local people are displaced from the island because they can't make it. So I understand, but I do believe in markets and growth and hard work. And so look, people are gonna move here from the mainland. People are gonna move here from all over the world. They're connecting with us and they're going through this channel, not only the YouTube channel, but the channels of getting in touch with me, and we are their friends and their advocates on this island. You can see the other local people on our team. I think that they're gonna be indoctrinated to aloha and to the respect that we have in our culture and all that is Hawaii. We want to teach people, you know, like really be real with people about what Hawaii is, what Hawaii is about, and I hope to preserve all of that as well in the process and help a lot of people, a lot of good people coming here. You know, every person I've met from this channel has been a quality person. Anyways, what's up, bro? Come.
Hi, Daddy.
What's up, bro? Do you like Hawaii?
Yeah.
Where do we used to live?
I don't remember.
California.
California?
Do you remember California?
Not that much.
My wife's over there going, Disneyland. Were people as nice there as they are here, do you think? Was it same or different?
A little bit nicer here.
Do you like the food here better?
Or if you ate shaved ice in California, maybe every bite you would get brain freeze because it's cold there.
Surfing? You stood up on your, what, second wave?
I think second.
And now you can paddle by yourself?
One time a wave catch me instead of I catch a wave.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yay!
Okay, guys, that was, what's the word? Like cameo? Would that be the word?
Yeah.
Cameo, whatever. Duke jumped in, gave us some insights. Those are all the reasons why I live here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Probably some of you guys are thinking like, I'd love to reach out to him, but I don't want to waste his time yet or whatever. I would encourage you to reach out. Just be honest about your timeline and your goals, and we'll move forward accordingly. But this was a bit of a conversation that we might have if you were just in your exploratory phase. So I hope this helps some of you, gives you a good perspective on things, let you know why I live here and choose to raise my children here. There's no place like home, and there's definitely no place like Hawaii.